Hi there! Teacher Mers is here again to help you out understanding some confusing grammar rules and forms in English. And for this video, let's talk more about conditionals. First, what does the term conditionals mean? The use of the conditional implies that one action in a sentence depends on the other. And conditionals are used in telling real and imaginary situations. Also, we call it as if clauses. And we have four types of conditional sentences. First, zero conditional. And then first conditional. And then second conditional. And the last one is third conditional. And let's have the discussion of each conditional. First is zero conditional. It is used for general fact or truth. And our form is if or when plus subject plus base verb, and another sentence is subject plus base verb. Let's take a look at our examples here. First, if you drop an apple, it falls. It's the fact or the reality that when you drop an apple, it won't go up, but it really goes down, or it really falls. And number two, if you heat water, it boils naturally. And three, ice forms when you freeze water. You can write it the other way around. You can say, when you freeze water, comma, ice forms. Or for number one, you can make it as, it falls if you drop an apple. And for number two, it boils if you heat water. That's it for our zero conditional. So right now, let's go to our next conditional, and that is the first conditional. So it is used for situations or events that are possible or likely to happen. And our form or construction is if or when plus subject plus base verb, and another sentence is subject plus modal plus infinitive, or what we call base verb. So our examples, first, if you don't pass the test, I'll hire a tutor for you. So let's have the construction first. It's if, and then you as the subject, and the base verb is pass, and another sentence is the subject is I, and the modal is will, and the infinitive or base verb is to hire. It is called infinitive because it is read as to hire, but then we don't write that anymore. It's only hire. Okay, next, number two, I'll call your mom unless Jerome admits his fault. And number three, as soon as I receive my salary, I'll buy you a new phone. So, for example, for number three, it's real that it's really possible that within this month, you're gonna receive your salary. So, it's really possible for you to buy someone a new phone. Okay, that's it for our first conditional. I hope it's clear because now we're going to the next conditional, the second conditional. So it is used for situations or things that are impossible or unlikely to happen. It's the opposite of the first conditional. So our form is if or when plus subject plus base verb, and then another sentence, it's subject plus modal plus infinitive or the base verb. Examples: if I only passed the test, I would celebrate and party. So the construction is if, and then subject is I, the base verb is past, And then the subject for another sentence, the subject is I and modal verb is would, and the infinitive or base verb is to celebrate and to party. Okay. So maybe it's really impossible for that someone to pass the test because maybe it's really difficult, or maybe they haven't studied it in the classroom, or the teacher hasn't taught those things in the classroom. Okay, next example, I would buy a new phone if I received a lot of money. And the third one is, if I were a boy, I would do everything to please my girl. If you are a girl, it's really impossible for you to be a boy. So that's why you can use were, because that is one of the examples of unreal conditions. Okay, so that's it for our second conditional. So right now, let's proceed to the last conditional, and that is the third conditional. So it is used for things, for situations, for events that already happened and can't be changed. The form is if or when plus subject plus past perfect, and another sentence is subject plus would have plus past participle. Examples: if I had exercised more, I would have lost my weight. Okay, so as of this time, for example, you are fat, and you cannot really change the fact that you didn't exercise because until now or right now, you are fat. You haven't lost weight, so you cannot change that. Okay, that's why you have to use the third conditional. And let's have the second one. They would not miss the flight if they only arrived on time. So that's it for our 4 types of conditional sentences. Okay, so right now, let's have here example conversations of some conditionals. Okay, this is a conversation between Jane and Zybel. Okay, Jane said, I'm thinking of buying a used car from Ralph Jones. What do you think? And Zybel answered, to tell the truth, I wouldn't buy a used car from Ralph Jones if I were you. And then Jane replied, why do you say that? Zybel answered again, if you bought a used car from Ralph Jones, you'd spend a lot of money on repairs. Okay, and we still have another example conversation, and this is between Chloe and Chanel. Okay, Chloe said, I'm thinking of getting a dog. What do you think? And Chanel answered, to tell the truth, I wouldn't get a dog if I were you. And Chloe asked again, why do you say that? And Chanel finally answered, if you got a dog, you'd probably be evicted from your apartment building. Ah, that's so scary. Okay, so that's it for our examples. So right now, let's go to our activity. Okay, it is just easy. Don't be afraid. Let's answer together. And the first one is, my boyfriend laughs when I make jokes. What is your answer? And that is zero conditional. You're right. Next, number 2. I would answer if he called. And that is, what is your answer? Second conditional. You're right again. And the third one, I would have visited him in the hospital if I had known he was in there. What is your answer? You're right again. It's the third conditional. And the last one, if you study hard, you'll have a good life. And your answer is? That's right, it's second conditional. Congratulations! Now that you know more about conditionals, you can now make your own sentences or your own examples. That's it for this lesson. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you next time.